Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Bette McCarthy, the chair of the Barnstable Old Kings Highway Committee, and I'd like to call this meeting to order. This meeting of the Old Kings Highway Historic District Committee is being recorded and broadcast on the Town of Barnstable Government Access Channel. And in accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 20, the chair must inquire whether or not anyone else is recording this meeting, and if so, they must make their presence known. Okay, all right. So to all persons deemed interested or affected by the Town of Barnstable Old Kings Highway Historic District Act under Section 9 of Chapter 470, Acts of 1973 as amended, you are hereby notified that a hearing will be held tonight on the applications listed on the agenda for August 14th, 2024. And we'd like to remind applicants and audience members that we are an elected volunteer committee following the guidelines of the Town of Barnstable Old Kings Highway Historic District Act. And any applicant or interested party who is aggrieved by a decision of this committee, they have a right to appeal the decision to the Old Kings Highway Regional Historic Commission. We ask that during this evening's proceedings, cell phones be turned off and conversations other than those before the committee take place outside of this remote meeting. When an applicant is called, we ask that the applicant and all interested parties identify themselves. And lastly, as best practices for meetings that are held remotely, where we may not be able to visually identify who's speaking, we ask that all committee members and participants identify themselves before making any motion or comments. And online audience members wishing to participate during the public comments section of the hearing, they can use the raised hand button to notify the chair. And dial-ins audience members wishing to participate during the public comment section of the hearing should press *9 on their phones to notify the chair. All applicants will be muted and you must be recognized by the chair in order to participate. And our first order of business is to take a roll call attendance. And sadly, we have lost one of our members, our architect member, George Jessup. The other members are Leslie Wallace.
Here.
Leslie?
Here.
Okay. Thank you. Brian Caholen?
Here.
Good. Wendy Schuck?
Here.
And I, Bette McCarthy, is present. And so now we would like just to have a moment to remember George. Erica, do you have some comments that have been made and you'd like to just tell everybody about them?
Yes, I'm Erica. I'm the administrative assistant for this committee. I personally worked with George for about 2 years before he sadly passed at the end of July, as well as the committee as a whole would like to acknowledge that those of us on the Barnstable Old Kings Highway Committee will truly miss the wit, the architectural and historic wisdom of George Jessup. He freely gave advice that improved design and made suggestions to avoid costly future repairs. This community has lost a treasure. And honestly, that is all very true. We did lose a treasure. Personally, I will miss all of his anecdotes. He loved to talk. But yes, we will all truly miss him. He was so talented, so vastly knowledgeable as well, and we'll miss him. So if we could have a moment of silence for him before we start with our applications, it would be appreciated. Thank you.
All right. We will, first of all, we have a continued application, and this is for Sarah and Matt LeMay of 56 Red Wing Lane, Barnstable, map 318, parcel 007. It's undeveloped land, and they want to construct a new colonial style home with a carriage house on a vacant lot. So may we have the applicant or their representative, please make your presentation. The changes that have occurred from our last meeting, if you will.
Yeah, first of all, this is Matt LeMay, the applicant. My wife, Sarah LeMay, is also here with me. And I just want to thank the committee for continuing to work through this with us. We have continued to listen to the feedback, and I think made some pretty incredible changes. Josh, our builder, who will talk to you through them, as well as James, our architect, have really changed things to, I think, address the needs that the committee has. So thank you again. The one comment I'll make here is, as you heard on the last call, the landowner, Matt Chase, had given us an extension on this contract through the end of this month. So essentially, I guess we have this meeting of which to potentially have this project approved, or he has the ability to move in a different direction. I think I see him on the call, so maybe he'll make other comments. But at this point, we've given it our best shot and hope this meets the needs. I certainly like the end result. So Josh, if you want to take it over.
Josh Blakely here, representing Matt and Sarah LeMay on the 56 Red Wing Lane, new build, vacant lot build. So basically, we've been jotting down notes throughout all the meetings and just getting as much feedback from you folks as possible. And you basically can see the new submission, where we've taken the, it's just been like sort of an evolution of the colonial style, expanded colonial, and we've modified a bunch of things that we started with. First and foremost, we reduced the porch size. We did a 6-panel door with side lights, colonial door. We panelized the columns. Obviously, the trim details have been sort of the same from the beginning, other than what we've highlighted them just a little bit, and they're in the plans. And we added 2 dog dormers above the wing, the east wing. We also salt boxed the roof system on this colonial to reduce the overall height of the building by 2 feet to bring the roof line down, so that you see a reduced height, the structure. And those are the primary changes that we've made on the main structure. On the carriage structure, we redesigned the building to have the doors on the eave end of the house rather than the gable end of the house. You can see there that basically what we have is basically that is the south facing view. So when you're driving down 6A and you look, you know, at the structure, you're looking at that. That's your view there that you're seeing. So the overall, both structures overall have been slightly reduced in square footage. The cupola was added just because we've kind of heard some feedback that a cupola would give it more of a barn feel. So that, you know, we're negotiable on that. Of course, we're negotiable on many things here, but that's one that we thought we added to give you guys a view of what it would look like with a cupola on it. Anything else I could add? On the plot plan, you can see where the layout of the actual structures will be, the distance from the road. So we've met our setbacks. We've met our conservation requirements. And we're working on developing an overall landscape plan, but essentially we're looking at indigenous plants and trees along the stone wall. And not really touching, there's really no trees in an easement area that would be affecting. The ones on the east side of the property that are there are going to remain there. The stone wall, the ancient wall on the east side of the property, on the south side of the property are going to remain, just be, if anything, slightly restored, you know, just to keep them intact. But basically that's the overview that I got for you there. So.
Yeah, and maybe if we can just show the slide before this, that'll give you a good idea of the inspiration pick of kind of lining these oaks or birches or whatever they end up being behind that rock wall. So that'll be the look as you're coming down 6A, looking through the wall and then back to the house.
Thanks, Matt. Yep.
Okay. I guess, does that conclude your remarks?
Yeah, unless there's anything, I'm happy to answer any questions. We,
Okay, all right. I'd like some of the committee to discuss the changes that have been made. Ryan Caholen, would you like to discuss what you see here?
Sure. So I think this is what, probably the fourth time we've met? Fourth or
Yes.
maybe fifth. Look, I've watched this evolve from a structure that I remember the first time I saw it. I think I made a comment that it was massive and sort of like a big box. And I've watched it evolve over every discussion we've had. And first and foremost, I want to recognize the pressure and some of the frustration, I'm sure, not just from the proponent and their builder, but also the current property owner. But I've watched this design evolve into something that I do believe has morphed into being appropriate, given the area that you have to work with. It's a very constrained lot. The wetlands in the back really box you in as far as what you can do. You know, and I think that you've morphed this into a structure that I could easily imagine driving down 6A and seeing. You know, I've driven by the property now probably a dozen times since we first met, and I know it's there today. It's overgrown, it's unkept. And I think that, I mean, like I said previous, I think that the design has become appropriate for the lot, and I applaud your perseverance.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ryan. Wendy, would you like to discuss what we're seeing here now?
Yep, you know, I would mirror most of Ryan's comments. I mean, I think the changes that you've had are quite significant. I think the design of the house looks really great. I do have a couple questions. So the siding, is it shingled or is it going to be more of a clapboard?
Shaker shingle, just a gray, Coventry gray.
Okay, and white trim, is that?
Yep.
Okay, and what color are the doors gonna be, Josh?
Just Matt, do you want to comment on that? Are we going with the
Yeah. Yeah, I think the idea was, you know, like a fir, just solid wood door.
Okay,
We're certainly open to a white door too, which I think also works, but it'll be one of those two, assuming, you know, there's no pushback on that.
yeah, no, I think that's okay. And what about the garage doors? Same or?
White.
Same, yeah,
Yeah, it'll be the same, either
Okay.
white or that brown wood. We've got the wood, you know, on there now. But I'm really open to either white or the wood.
okay,
With this cross marking to make it more look like a barn, that definitely will be the design of the door.
okay. Let's see, there was mention of a fence. Is that in the backyard, hopefully? Like it said a picket fence and a chain link fence?
No, I don't know where that is, but we don't
Um,
get a fence at all.
Oh, okay, because I think it was in the application somewhere. So, okay, that's good.
Oh, I
Maybe
think
that was just a,
it was like a boilerplate that I didn't
that was
erase.
just boilerplate, got it. Okay, my bad, sorry, okay. And the grills, it'll be 6/6, those are divided light windows, I believe. The chimney in the back has changed from brick to stone, but I don't believe that's visible from 6A anyway, correct? That looks like it's gonna be, I don't know, more of a fireplace type thing on the outside, right, for a patio?
Yes.
Okay, great. The roof pitch is 7/12 now, is that right? And you've changed it more to a salt box. Erica, can we look at a side view? I'd like to just see that kind of salt box look. Okay. Salt box, and then there's a dormer on top of it. Okay. Okay. So in terms of the square footage, so on the application, I think it said like 22 or 2,600, but that's the footprint, right? Like, what is the gross living area?
The footprint is like 3,300 square feet, including the garage, right? So the square footage is, the livable square footage in the property is 2770, so 2770.
Okay. And what about for the carriage house?
890.
And that's the living, yep, okay. Okay. And how long, if you know, is the expanse of the house on the front, like from the edge of the garage all the way over to the other corner of the house? How long is that?
James, you have that information?
Look, doing it right now. It'd be roughly 151 feet.
Okay,
That's from far left corner of garage to far right corner of structure.
correct. Okay, all right. Let's see. So the size of the windows, so the windows up top will be the same as the windows on the bottom, is that right?
Yes.
Correct.
It looks like that in the picture, yeah, just wanted to confirm, okay. I think that was most of, my questions, I guess, my only concern, and I think and one other question, so how far is the house from the road?
It's 32 feet.
That's
Take
what
a
I
look at
thought.
that, Eric, for me, if you could pull that up.
I think that's what that said, so it's pretty close to the road.
Yeah, 32.
Which is okay. I mean, we have a lot of houses, obviously, on 6A that are close to the road. So I think the design of the house, I agree with Ryan, is appropriate. Still my concern is, we have a big house with a fairly good size carriage house, and it's like a lot of garage doors there. And that's, I think, the one thing that's kind of tripping me up a little bit. But otherwise, I think you've done a really nice job with the revised design. I'm impressed how well you guys listened, actually, and thank you for doing that. So that's it for me, Bet.
Okay, thank you very much, Wendy. Leslie, would you like to discuss the changes and?
Yes, I am flabbergasted how well you have listened and made changes. Just, it's so much better. I'd like to ask, what is the depth of your porch?
On the front porch?
Yeah,
The
how
depth of the
far
front-
out does it go?
So the depth of the front porch is 7'1".
Okay, so the rule of thumb, thank you, George, is 6 feet, so you can kind of get around, so that gives you enough room. Okay, that's great.
Yeah, inside the column to the house is 5'10".
Oh, okay. Well, if you put chairs there, you want to be able to move around.
Yeah.
So you know, think of that. I do have a suggestion, and I think I'm partial to it because I have it. I have a similar type house, the double wings on each side. And you know what would look great and break this up, in my humble opinion, is a fake chimney right in the middle up above. And I had that put, or the builder put that, yes, yes. It makes it stately, it makes it, and you can do it with a colonial. It just adds a real nice vibe to it. So think about that, and you can, mine's fake. You can do it with ASIC board and paint it. And then I have the black trim up top, and it really adds, and I think it would break up that middle part. So that's my suggestion. I think it would look great.
Okay. All right. Leslie, does that conclude your?
Yeah, I'm pleased with
Okay.
how this came out. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
All right. I guess it's my turn now, Bette McCarthy. So I am very pleased with all the changes that you've made. I think it's you've done a great job reducing that front porch to just go over the two windows and the front door, and the columns that look so much better. And yeah, I think it's great. The only thing that I noticed is it looks like the pitch of the garage section and that little area, that roof pitch. I know we had you reduce the pitch of the roof to like 7/12, but it looks like, when I look at it now, it looks like it's a little shallow, the roof of the main part of the house, compared to the pitch of the roof lines on the other part of the house.
So,
It looks a little shallow.
so as you're looking at it from the front perspective, all three roofs that you see head on, where you see the eave lines, they're all 7 pitches.
Okay.
And the garage to the left is a 10 pitch, where you know, you see the attached structure. I think it perceives a little shallower as we reduce the height of the ridge so much by salt boxing it.
Yeah. Well, I really hadn't thought about the suggestion that Leslie made about putting a faux chimney in the middle. That would certainly break up the expanse of the front of the house. And if the owners are willing to do that, I think that would make really a much improved look of the house as a whole. I had questioned about the landscaping plan, but I see that Josh showed that, and then the other thing is in general, we try to avoid having garage doors face the road. They don't face Red Wing. The house garage door does, but it doesn't face 6A, but the carriage house, but I think it's set far enough back, and with the trees that you plan to plant, I don't think it will be that noticeable from 6A. So overall, I really like the addition of the cupola. The only thing is, I think the faux chimney would make a really attractive addition to it. So I don't know if you all would be willing to add that.
Yeah, we had actually discussed that last week and looked at what the images of that would look like. So our mind was going there. That's why I was smiling when you said it, or Leslie said it, because we were really considering it. You know, obviously the issue is that we've now made quite a bit of changes, and there's a lot of costs to all of this, right? And so
Right.
adding that would add additional costs, but we're certainly open to it if that's what you all think is needed to get this thing done.
Okay.
Do
Well,
it, do it. It'll look beautiful.
I have it modeled and ready to go.
Okay.
Awesome.
You won't be sorry, trust me.
I already got it, so I can just drop it right on there.
Perfect.
Are we in agreement then to add that?
Yeah, I think adding the chimney is fine. Like we said,
Okay.
we like the look of it. It was just more a cost thing. So for us, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
No matter
And
what
that-
you do,
Yeah. I know.
it's the prices are always going up. So it's
Yeah, do it
all right.
now.
Well,
Yeah.
thank
And
you.
Bet, can I
Thank
add
you.
one more comment? So, you know, I was concerned about all the garage doors, you know, that would be visible, but I do agree, and I'm glad you pointed out the landscaping, because there will be kind of several, like 2 rows of trees right there. And once they grow in, I think it'll sort of camouflage it. So
Right.
that's a great point. Thanks for stating that.
Okay. All right. Well, now we need to know if there are any members of the public wishing to make any comments. So, Erica, would you let us know if there's anybody? I know there've been quite a few written comments, but that we've all had an opportunity to review.
Yes, I wanted to acknowledge that, and I wanted to make sure I know that Wendy and Bet did. Ryan and Leslie, did you see the further comment
Yes.
made
Yes,
that I sent
I
out
did.
today? Okay,
Yes.
Yep,
perfect.
I did.
Perfect. Thank you for acknowledging that. And it does look like Wellesley Marsh would like to make a comment. So Wellesley, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
hi.
Hello.
Thank you for inviting me to speak. The changes to the house are really nice. We really appreciate all the work that's gone into that. I have a question regarding the garage. I think Leslie may have raised the question about, I think the last meeting, the doors would not face 6A. And I know it was just said about the landscaping and so forth. But because it is a 2-car garage and it's quite large, that's still a concern for us, because it's big and it's facing 6A. Another point of concern is that we're going into now our 4th meeting, and it is, I have to say, a bit frustrating that the application is still not complete. We still don't have a landscape plan. And we can't wrap our heads around why. Why hasn't plan been put forward since the first meeting, and we're still up in the air about it. And what we just saw tonight, you know, I know on the first application, chain link fence was on there and was crossed out, and it's back on again, but it's not crossed out. And the split rail fence, we still don't know, because the split rail fence was on the plan itself, but if it's crossed off, is there going to be a fence? And
Wellesley, there is no fence. That's just boilerplate language on the application.
okay,
There's no fence, yeah.
okay, thank you. So no fence, no fence. The septic system's still not in the plan. It's bizarre. I don't know what happened to it. We can now see the walkway going like parallel to the house now. The last meeting it was coming towards 6A. So that's still kind of confusing to us, because we still haven't seen a proper landscaping plan. It's still unclear about where things are, what they're going to look like. What kind of landscaping, how much, where is it going to be? The ancient stone wall between that property and our neighbors, that's also gone from the plan. So that's a concern. What happened to the ancient stone wall? And just, the overall square footage, now it's on the application. Thank you for putting that on the application, because we couldn't find any other measurements as far as the height, the width, all that kind of, some of the questions that were asked just a few moments ago, not on the plan that we can find. So now that we know the width of 151 feet for the house, I know the square footage has changed several times, but where has the square footage been lost from? Because it looks like the size of the house and the carriage house still look the same. As far as like the wings and the two-car garage. But it doesn't look like it's changed at all, even though the square footage has changed throughout for the past 4 meetings. So we're still a bit, confused about that. And then we just saw in the landscape drawing just now a golf cart. Is that like a golf cart bay, or because we haven't had time to really look at it. So it's just, we're just surprised at this juncture. It's just not a completed packet so that we can all see what's happening, all the changes all together. And we're still having questions, and it's just a little frustrating because the changes that have been made to the house have been really, really nice. We really appreciate it, especially the front porch. Really great job with that. But it is just a little frustrating at this point that we're still asking some of these questions, and it's just not in the application or a packet. So just saying my piece. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see, Erica, is there anybody else that would like to make comments?
This is Erica Brown. Please correct me if I'm wrong. There's several people on tonight. I don't see anyone else wishing to speak at this time.
Okay. All right. If that is the case, we can close the public hearing portion of the application.
Yeah. Bet, I had one question. So
Sure.
can we fold that landscape plan that we were shown into the package of information to make it part of the record?
This is Erica Brown. Yes, we can, Wendy. I will make sure that that is added in, as well as during the motion, you can make it in the motion, say the landscaping
Okay.
must be included with the application when it's uploaded to the building permit at that time, as well as the fence to be removed from that application. Since I know it's boilerplate, but I think it will help everybody. So it'll be in the decision that those 2 items, A, must be included, as well as the faux chimney. I would add that. I'd roll it all into your
right.
decision.
So the landscape plan, the faux chimney, and you think the fence too? Just
Yes, I would add in the fence. I would just make
Okay.
it clear that there is no
Clear.
fence. Yep.
Okay, got it. Got it. Okay. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
Brian Caholen, I'll second.
Very good. And a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Brian Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Bette McCarthy, aye. So now we need a motion to approve this application.
Okay, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness application for Matt and Sarah LeMay, 56 Red Wing Lane, Barnstable, map 318, parcel 007, undeveloped land, with the following modifications: to incorporate the landscape plan into the formal submission, to add a faux chimney to the home, and to stipulate that there will be no fence added on the property, otherwise as submitted.
Point of order, real
Brian.
quick, Wendy. Can
Yeah,
you just note that it is the plan submitted and dated at, or submitted for tonight's meeting, since we have seen multiple plans, and
Oh,
dated
yeah.
as, sorry, give me 2 seconds. I'm looking, unless James has it on his screen of when these were dated August 10th, 2024.
The landscape plan was?
The plan, the updated plans for this with the reduced porch and the dog dormers on the side and everything.
Okay,
Those are all dated August 10th, 2024. So I just want to make sure that we are pinpointing that we are approving these specific plans.
okay, that's a good point. Do you want me to do the motion all over again?
For clarity's sake, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, all right. Bear with me, everybody, sorry. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness application for Matt and Sarah LeMay, 56 Red Wing Lane, Barnstable, map 318, parcel 007, undeveloped land, with the following modifications to include the landscape plan into the updated property and house plan dated August 10th, 2024, to add a faux chimney to the house, to the main structure, and to stipulate there is no fence on the property, otherwise as submitted.
Ryan Cahola, I'll second.
Very good. And roll call vote, Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Bette McCarthy. Aye. So patience, perseverance, and you have a go-ahead. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. We look
Yep.
forward to being neighbors once we build this. So thanks again.
Yep, congrats.
Thank you.
Very good.
Congrats.
All right. And thank you for all of your sticking to it and working hard to make it appropriate. Thank you. All right. Our next application is for Tobias Leary of 40 Salt Meadow Lane, West Barnstable, map 156, parcel 038, built in 2021 to construct a new 3-car garage that had been previously approved in 2021, but they're reapplying this application with some design changes. So we need to open a public hearing for this application.
Sure, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
Ryan Cahola, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Bette McCarthy. Aye. So we now need the applicant to show and discuss their application, the modifications they've made to the initial plan for this for the 3-car garage.
Well, thank you for having me and considering this project. Happy to be here. You can call me Toby. I feel like I'm getting in trouble by my mom if you say Tobias, but the proposal when we were building the house back in 2021 was a smaller garage, and we decided it would be good for the local economy to create some workforce housing in the process. So we have reapplied our building permit to get a second floor living space. And one of the sticky wickets in the last meeting was when I got approved the last time was one of the members who I don't believe is with us anymore was saying during the considerations, why don't you make it look like the house? And at the time, we didn't have the budget to do it, and we still haven't built it, obviously. So, but now, upon further reflection, we thought that's the best course of action. So, this does reflect the house, the main house, and so with exception to instead of the white cedar shingle, we went with more of shiplap pine siding. But we figured it would be more appropriate to be in keeping with the house. So that's really the only changes was it went from kind of a 1.5 story to a 2 story, and the footprint is exactly the same. And the design changes from a more capey looking construction to this gambrel style. And we added a cupola on top as well, but everything else is pretty much the same. The windows, unfortunately, I don't see them on this plan, but they would be 2/2 simulated divided light windows. I just noticed on the copy you have, it doesn't show that, but it would be a SDL, just like our main house, 2/2 on the double hungs. And so that's really the changes. And now we're finally ready to build it. So we figured we'd come back and reapply for the design that will ultimately serve us a little better.
Okay. Well, thanks, Toby. Why don't we have some committee discussion on this? Ryan, what are your
Thank you.
comments?
Thank you, Ben. No, I think given the location, the setback off of 6A, fairly private back there. I take no exception. I think it blends in nicely with the town's ADU plan, and I think it's appropriate.
Great, thank you. Leslie.
Yes, it's set way back, and I agree with Ryan. I think it looks fine, and it's more in keeping with their house, so that's good too.
Okay. Wendy, would you like to make some comments?
Sure, just a couple quick. So thank you, Toby, for your comments, because you actually ended up answering most of my questions. Mine were about the windows, you know, if they were to actually be 2/2. So that's great. I think that's perfect. And I did drive by, but I don't remember. Is this the same siding that is on the house?
No, the house has a Cape Cod gray white cedar shingle. And so we were just switching it up a little bit to be a vertical shiplap siding,
Okay.
in keeping with the more barn style.
Okay. And what color?
It'd be white.
It'll be white. Okay.
White or gray, I should say. Actually, now that I think about it, we had proposed gray, like a light
like
gray.
match the house.
Yeah,
So
similar color to the
match
house.
Okay, I'll just make note of that. Okay. And the barn will go where that foundation is right now, I
Correct,
presume,
yep.
right? Okay. Okay, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Wendy. This is Bette McCarthy. I think the design is appropriate. The only suggestion I might have is for the garage doors. They don't quite give me the feeling of like a barn kind of structure. That's the only suggestion I would make. If it had more of a barn type a door on there, I think it would be a little more attractive. But the only thing is, you're so far back off 6A, it really wouldn't be that noticeable. But I just think for your own appreciation, at some point you would say, oh, I'm glad we changed those garage doors. But that would be my only suggestion, Toby.
And for what it's worth, I agree with you. As long as I can make some tweaks along the way, if it's in the budget, I would much rather have like a vertical like V groove or something like that, or a beadboard garage door, if I can sneak it into the budget or even add it later without needing to come for reapproval. And possibly we even thought about doing like a lights at the top of the top panel of the door to let
Yes.
them light in to match what's on the main house. So
yeah, that would be that would be very attractive to have that with the light, the window lights on the top, yeah. All right, let's see, is there any members of the public out there wishing to make comments regarding this application?
Chair, this is Erica Brown. I do not see anyone wishing to speak to this at this time.
All right, so if that's the case, then we need to close the public hearing portion of this application.
Sure, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
All right, roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So now we need a motion on the application.
Sure. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness application for Tobias, AKA Toby Larry, 40 Salt Meadow Lane, West Barnstable, map 156, parcel 038, built in 2021, with the following modifications. One is the option of using gray paint on the structure, clarifying that the windows will be 2/2 grills, and also the option of putting window lights over the barn doors and or making the doors more barn-like, otherwise as submitted.
Ryan Caholen, I'll
Okay.
second.
Great. And a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So, Toby, I just hope your piggy bank is full enough to
I
go
hope
ahead
so
with-
too. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Our next application is for Deborah and Richard Gordon, trustees of 67 Harbor View Road, Barnstable, map 319, parcel 133, built in 2012 to construct a new sunroom addition on the rear of the house and a new covered porch on the front. So we need to open a public hearing for
Sure,
this application.
Yep, Mrs. Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So would the applicant or their representative like to discuss their sunroom addition and their covered porch?
Yes, can you hear me? This is Thomas Moore from Thomas Moore Design Company, representing Richard and Deborah Gordon. And as you stated, we're adding a porch to the front of this house to kind of break up the front of it a little bit. And we're doing a second story, an addition, a sunroom addition on the rear with a bathroom over it and a roof deck up on top of that. All the new materials will match the existing materials in detail, color, trim, windows. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay. Wendy, would you like to discuss your suggestions or
Yeah.
comments?
I think the design plans are very much in keeping with, the other homes in the area. I think it fits the style of the house nicely. Just one quick question on the back. The second floor windows, will they be 6/6 or?
They wanted to do the 2/1, just, I'm not sure for any particular reason, but just to eliminate some of the grills. Yeah, if it's, something that you wanted to keep them as 6/6, yeah, we would certainly do that.
Yeah, I don't think it's a deal breaker. It, just consistency wise, it's just a little different
They,
style.
they
So,
kind of referred me to a house that's across the street that had a similar type of thing on the back side of it, so
yeah,
that's
okay.
why we
Yeah.
did it here.
Yeah, I know the visibility is a little better when you have fewer grills, so I understand. That's it for me, Bet.
Okay, thanks. Ryan,
I don't have much. I think it's appropriate.
great. And Leslie,
I think it looks good, and I just want to ask you, since I fall over everything, are you gonna have front lights by the front door?
I believe they probably have lights that are there right now,
Oh, okay, all
so
right,
I would leave what's there.
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, oh, I see, they are
Yeah.
there, okay,
Yeah.
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 All right, good, I'll be over to visit you and I won't be afraid.
All right. And this is Bet, and again, following our architectural member, that is, we're missing sadly. He always suggested to homeowners that the depth of the porch be 6 feet in order to put a chair and be able to walk around it. So that was the only thing I was questioning, is the depth of that porch.
It is exactly 6 feet.
Okay, very good. That those are my only comments, and I think it's, attractive, very fitting with the neighborhood, and it'll enhance the front facade.
Thank you.
Are there any members of the public wishing to discuss this?
This is Erica Brown. I don't see anyone wishing to speak to this item at this time.
Okay, so in that case, we need to close the public hearing.
all right, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
All right,
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
thank you. Leslie Wallace,
Aye,
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye,
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So now we need a motion to approve the application.
sure. This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness application for Richard and Deborah Gordon, trustees, 67 Harbor View Road, Barnstable, map 319, parcel 133, built 2012, as submitted.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. And roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
aye,
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So application is approved as submitted.
Thank you very much.
Thank
All
you.
righty, very good. All right, our next application is for Melissa Garfield and Kenneth Malo of 98 Cypress Point, Barnstable, map 334, parcel 010/004, built in 1981, to construct a new front entry and master bath addition to the front and left side of the existing home. So we need to open a public hearing
This is
for
Wendy.
this application.
Yep, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
Ryan
Okay.
Caholen, I'll second.
Great. Roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
aye,
Ryan,
Aye.
Wendy,
Aye.
and Beth, aye. So now we need the applicant or their representative to discuss the modification and the addition.
Yeah, this Thomas Moore from Thomas Moore Design Company, representing Ken Mello and Melissa Garfield. And we're looking to create a new front entry on this house. And we're creating a new master bathroom addition, which is kind of on the back left-hand corner of the house. you know, it's set back from the front of the house. You can probably see it better on the site plan. But there'll be, you know, all the new materials will match the existing house. You'll be building, yeah, and expanding the deck a little bit on the backside of the building too. And a lot of this, other than the front entrance, you really won't see that much of it as far as the addition. So we'd be happy to try to answer any questions that you might have about it.
All right. Leslie, would you like to discuss this application?
Now, what is the main, the garage is part of it, and the front door chimney, is the left side the addition?
So the garage is existing.
Yeah,
The left, when you're looking at the front elevation, the
Yeah.
whole left side is the addition with the
Yeah,
three
okay.
windows there.
yep,
That's the addition.
okay,
The new gable on the front is the new front entry.
yep,
And there's gonna be a new fireplace or new chimney on the front of the house also.
okay, all right. There's a chimney there though now, and you're replacing it.
Yeah, then taking that one down where we're creating this new entryway and building a new one on the front.
Yep, okay. Can you slide it over a little bit? So I can see the garage. That's an interesting roof line.
But the garage is existing.
Interesting, yeah.
Okay, so you're not changing anything with that.
Not-
All right.
No, we're not
So,
touching the
All
garage.
we're concerned about is the left side. Okay, okay. I was kind of confused with that. Well, it goes with the house. Yeah, there it is. Okay. It's long. You're doing a new front door, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, I think that does break it up a bit, which is nice. Yep, I don't see anything, 6/6 windows. Yep, it's fine with me.
Okay. Thank you, Leslie. Brian?
I think, given the location, that's not necessarily, while it's in the district, most of the houses back there are very in line with what I'm looking at here, so I take no exception. I think it's appropriate.
Good, thank you. Wendy?
Yeah, I guess two comments for me. One is, you don't often see the chimney on the front of the house like that. It's a little bit unusual. Is that it's going to be red face brick, right? So I'm not necessarily opposed to it. It's just unusual. You don't see that often. And I suppose it kind of breaks out the length of the house. And then my second comment is the addition over to the left. I did note, as you stated, that is set back quite a bit from the rest of the house, which I think is good. Will you have like any landscaping in front of that? I think that might help kind of break up that long horizontal line of the house. Do you know?
I think when you as it's built,
Yeah.
you really won't see it. So what we will, as far as any landscaping, I would expect that they're gonna do something similar to what's on the front of the house right now.
Okay, all right.
around the
Because it
side.
is pretty heavily wooded there. So you're thinking that some of those trees will remain? Is that it?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I think they'll only take out what they have to take out.
Yeah, okay. I got it. Okay, thank you.
All
Wendy,
right,
I think to that
thanks.
point, you'd have to be standing in the circle, kind of peering through the wood
Yes.
line to
To see
really
it, yeah,
see it, because it's not set square on the lot,
correct.
you know?
Correct, yeah. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if they were gonna take all that down, but if not, even better, right? Keep those trees
Right.
up.
Yeah,
Keep
I
the
think
buffer.
they'll keep as much as we can.
Yep, perfect.
Okay. This is Bet, and it's a neighborhood where there's an eclectic mix of properties, and I
Mhm.
think this addition and the new front door is fine. I don't see any issue at all. So I think I don't have any other comments. So Let's see if there's anybody in the public wishing to discuss this.
Chair, this is Erica Brown. I do not see anyone from the public wishing to speak to this item at this time.
Okay, so then we need to close the public hearing part.
Yep, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
All right, a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Golan,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. Aye. So now we need to have a motion to approve this application.
Okay, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness application for Melissa Garfield and Kenneth Mello, 98 Cypress Point, Barnstable, map 334, parcel 010/004, built 1981 as submitted.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
Okay, all right. All set, thanks.
All
Thank you.
right. Yeah, we had a little power glitch here. So I'm going to repeat this application. It's for Marie Borland of 2456 Main Street, West Barnstable, map 257, parcel 002, built in 1850, to construct a new detached accessory dwelling unit of 582 square feet adjacent to the existing home. So may we have a motion to open a public hearing?
This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to open the public hearing.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. Leslie,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Wendy,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy. Aye. So would the applicant or their representative like to discuss this project?
Hello, Keith McKenzie Betty, representing Marie. I think Marie is on as well. What we have, if you know where BWB School is, we're just across the road from that on 6A. The Lamb Line is next door, and if you know, there's a section of trees between Marie's house and the Lamb Line. Marie owns all of that land, and it's in those trees that we're going to place this house. It's a very small house. We're keeping quite simple materials on the outside of it, with shingle and trim to match everything that exists on the house. It's something that's quite close to my heart because we're trying to introduce a style of affordable homes here on the Cape, in line with basically every town has made a change toward affordable apartments. And this is the first one. And so hopefully the materials, the style, the scale of the building is in keeping with Barnstable Village, which I think it is. I live here. It's something that you feel you can approve.
Okay. Erica? I don't know if the
We
town
have a-
hall is.
We did have a phone number just join. I'm not sure if that's Erica.
That's me. That's Miss Marie Borland.
Oh, hi. Okay, hi Marie.
Hi, I lost.
Set my fire alarm off. Hold on.
There's a little power thing happening. So
Well,
I'm
in
not
Lake
sure about
George,
the
New
talk.
York, where I am, things are great.
Wonderful.
Bet if you'll just give me
It's
1
fine
second,
here in Barnstable.
I can. Oh, Erica's coming back, but I could pull up the plans if she's having trouble.
Okay, that would be great.
I can run you through the materials when it pops back up.
Apologies, everybody. I lost power.
Yeah,
But I am back.
yeah, I did too at my place, so.
Okay. Where are we?
Oh, okay.
I gave a brief introduction, Erica, of
Yeah.
what the house is. You know, it's a small house. It's going on the existing lot. It's quite a big lot. And we're in the trees between the Lamb and Lion and Marie's existing house. We're about 40 feet away from the existing house. It's not very visible where it's going to be. If you've been to Marie's house, you'll see there's a little driveway going to the right, and we're going to place it in there. It is intended for Marie's use, as with the guidelines from the town of Barnstable. And we're using very simple materials which match the materials which are already existing on the house.
Okay. Erica, can you bring up the application and the
Yeah. Stone, if you could just please give me sharing capabilities, it'd be appreciated.
All right, should be good to go.
Thank you.
There we go. So what we have, it's a shingle house with corner boards, and we have a little porch on the front. Very small house, but it does have a bedroom. It's not a studio house. It's only 582 square feet. It has a full basement and a little stair going down inside. Not that that concerns you guys. Just to ring the changes, we put a little metal roof over the entrance canopy, just to cute it up a little bit. The rails that you see here are window wells, very big window wells, which stick out from the building, allowing light into the basement and also escape from the basement. So we just took the same rail as we're using at the front, you know, a sort of 2x2 picket rail. As far as windows go, we've gone for 2/2 everywhere. It's such a small house that when you start introducing grills, the scale of it all goes down. And so that allows us, it's a bit like sports cars. They put big wheels on sports cars. It's the same thing that we're doing here. We're putting big windows on a small car, a small house.
okay?
Is there a picture of
Erica,
the
is
house?
there a photo of the placement on the land?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
How close to the road is that?
It's 30 feet back from the line, and here's the edge of the road. So I'm going to say 36 feet back from the road. We have all of this area we can place it in. But one of the things we're doing is looking at a new septic, which we may put over there. And also the relationship to the house, that there's going to be the same family in both, more than likely. Sort of visiting family, perhaps in this one, or vice versa, that Marie may live here and let the rest of the family in there, but they can swap and change. And the other option is, if we kept using this septic that's over here, we have to link it to the house. And we're right in the decision phase of that. So we dragged it forward. This does exist, and we'll probably extend that just to allow vehicles to get a little closer to the house. But it's all hidden behind very thick trees. In fact, this will be invisible.
You mean extend the driveway to the little apartment?
Yeah, I think
okay.
so. Just to make it easier for shopping and things.
Yeah.
Because I mean, having pulled out of BWB several thousand times, there's that privacy hedge that screens the main house. I'm trying to remember if it extends to the right of the driveway.
It's not a hedge. It's sort of mature trees. You know,
Okay.
it's untouched sort of land, and there is an open area within it, and that's what we intend, where we intend building it, and pushing back slightly. We're not affecting the stuff near the road. We're pushing back into it further because it doesn't look like it, but Marie actually owns quite a lot of land, which you would associate with the Lamb and Lion, but it's in fact not theirs, including their stone wall that runs down here. It's actually Marie's.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is there a picture of the house? I know I've seen it probably a million times. 'cause
Is
my
this
son-
Leslie?
Yeah, went to BWB, but I'd like to see what the house looks like. I can't remember.
Leslie, give me a couple of seconds and I'll bring it up.
Yep, that's fine.
Ben, I'm sorry, I had to drop for a second because my fire alarm went off. Did others make comments? What, I don't know what I missed.
No, we have not.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think because of that little power outage, we got things got a little topsy-turvy here. So Wendy, would you like to make comments now?
Sure. Some questions. So you mentioned that the materials were the same as the house, and as I recall, I think the house is like a light gray, maybe clapboard. And is this going to be a light gray? I think this is shingled, isn't it? No?
It's shown a shingle at the moment, which obviously fades to a light grey. It can be clapboard. It doesn't make too much difference to us if you want to see the two together. I liked the shingle personally in the woodland setting. I think it looks nice. But if you want to go like for like, we're quite flexible on that.
Okay. And then Erica, can you pull up that picture of the structure? Yeah, that one right there. I don't know if it's 5 or 6. Yeah. The house itself. Yeah. So can you talk about that detail up on the top? Because I think it said like brown molding with trim, white. Can you describe
this up
that?
here,
Yeah.
it's 1x6 vertical beadboard with a little piece of trim underneath it to match the sort of white trim that's running around here. It just breaks up the height. It's something that I did on the back of my own house, which you kindly approved last year, and looks great. And so I added it to Marie's.
Okay. I'm just looking at my notes here. So I guess my one overall comment is usually, you know, when there's a house with an outbuilding, they're similar in style, and these to me just look like two totally different structures. You know, to me, they don't like tie in. I don't know if this design really fits in with the historic nature of the neighborhood. You know, I'm really kind of torn in, and I understand, you know, the whole affordable housing thing, but when I look at this and then the existing home, the two just don't, they're not in harmony to me. So that would be my comment.
Yeah, I understand.
Existing home.
What's that, Leslie?
I've asked for the existing home to
Yeah,
see.
I think Erica's trying to pull it up.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, Leslie. There is quite a bit of rich detailing on here, which is hard to do because we're approaching this from the affordable end of sort of the market, because we're trying to introduce these homes for a very low price. It's one of the keys to these affordable apartments, and hopefully this is going to sorry, the picture just flashed up in front of me and my mind emptied.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
But you'll see corner board, the same kind of trim, similar pitches on the roof to what we're doing. And then there's a little bit of metal on here too. So we're picking up some of the themes from the existing house. Something you may pick up on, Leslie, though, is that we didn't do the 6/6. We did 2/2, which was my sports car metaphor earlier. But again, if you want to see the changes, we're happy to make the changes.
Okay. Leslie?
How far away is that little house from the main house? How many feet?
I'm going to say about 70 feet. I haven't got it
so
in
it's a
front of me.
distance. Okay.
And where the hand's waving over at the moment, there is a lot of trees here, in that area, and completely surrounding all of this is forest.
And the little, I call them doodads, the little peak in the front.
Yeah.
You're making it all white.
Yes.
Okay. I think that was, I wasn't, the bottom and then the cottage is all white.
Yeah, and then the detail on the door. So the door would be white too. So we're picking it up down here too.
Yeah, and that's like cottage too. Okay.
Yeah, and then the rails are all white. So hopefully there's a consistency of detail.
The only thing I would suggest is you do clapboard. Doesn't have to be the whole place, but in the front to keep it. That'll match up with the other house.
Yeah, the traditional way of just doing it on the front and then shingle on the other three sides.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's not all that, expensive, but you'll keep the fronts the same. And I think it'll look a little more uniform.
Yeah, not an issue.
All right, darling.
Yeah. And is this
All right.
facing 6A, this gable side? Is this facing 6A or is it facing the driveway?
This one is facing the house, so it's probably the only one you would see. This is what faces 6A.
Which one?
Which one?
Sorry, the proposed right side is what would face 6A.
Okay.
And then the proposed front elevation is actually facing the house, facing the driveway. So as you drove back from exit 6 and you're coming towards the village, you would see the front elevation, effectively the side of the building.
Yeah, all right.
And that's the clapboard one.
Yeah.
Okay. Leslie, anything else?
What did we're all right over the 2x2. I understand it gives you more, and this is a small house, gives you more light. I guess I'm okay with it.
Okay. All right.
I drop again for a second, sorry. Okay, it stopped. I don't know what's going on here. Jeez.
Yeah. Wendy? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. My fire alarm keeps going off.
Why don't you check and see? I hope you don't have a fire.
No, I think, no, it's the
wire.
detectors. Yeah, it's so annoying.
We lost Wendy again, maybe.
No, she's there.
I think
But
there's
if you want to continue with the committee discussion.
Yeah, I'm here,
would-
Beth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brian, have you made comments?
I asked a question earlier, but I think I'll just comment that based on the site plan where the building's planned to go, I would venture to say I would never even see it be built had I not known about it at this meeting. So I would say it's not visible from 6A unless I'm sitting in the driveway of the property. So therefore, I take no exception.
Okay, great. Thanks, Ryan. Wendy, do you have any more comments that you'd like to make?
No, just to clarify, so the front will be clapboard and the side will be shingled. And we're
Yes.
gonna see from 6A, this side view with the door and the little porch,
Yes.
right?
Well, you're unlikely to see it, but yes, that is what
Yeah.
is facing 6A, yes.
Okay, and it's gonna be painted gray, but with the white up on the little peak there, is that right?
Yeah, the clapboard will be grey, and then we're white trim everywhere and white around the door and all the trim and the windows.
Okay, that's it for me, Beth.
Okay, thanks. All right, has everyone finished? I think it's a sweet little cottage, and you know, when I parked at the end of the school driveway and looked ahead at the house, it appears that the house has had an addition too, a more modern addition, and I think this would blend very nicely. It's a small little cottage, and it's going to be barely noticeable on that at that location. So I don't have any other issues with it. I think the suggestions that were made are fine. Do we have anybody in the public, Erica, wishing to discuss this?
Chair, this is Erica Brown. I don't see anyone from the public wishing to speak to this item at this time.
Okay, so then we need to close the public hearing section.
Yeah, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to close the public hearing.
Ryan Caholen, I'll
Alright.
second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. Leslie,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Wendy,
Aye.
and Beth, aye. So we now need a motion regarding this application.
Sure, this is Wendy Shuck, and I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness application for Marie Borland, 2456 Main Street, West Barnstable, map 257, parcel 002, built 1850, with the modification to clapboard the front and paint to match the house and to shingle the sides of the structure, otherwise as submitted.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
and Beth McCarthy, aye. So build that sweet little cottage. That would
I
be very
know.
nice.
That's lovely. Thank you very much, Beth. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Thank
go
you.
off now and toast George with a
Yeah.
nice glass of whiskey.
I know.
Thank
you very
you.
much, everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we'll
Get it ready for me, Marie. It looks cute. I wouldn't mind moving in there.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to age in place here. This is how I can afford it. So thank you very much.
Well, that's good. Bravo.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you. So that concludes our certificate of appropriateness. We do not have any minor modifications. We don't have any extensions or other. The minutes, Erica, they're
They
not
weren't up. I'm
available,
sorry.
correct?
That was my fault.
Yeah.
Again,
Please.
I promise
That's
I
all
will
right.
have
I
them for
know.
the next meeting.
Yeah, no. Well, our next meeting will be on August 28th, and then the following one of that would be September 11th. So
Not
it's a
good
bad
day.
date, but
Yeah.
anyhow. Then we need to have a motion to adjourn this meeting.
This is Wendy Shuck, and I move to adjourn today's meeting Wednesday, August 14th, 2024.
Ryan Caholen, I'll second.
Thank you. And a roll call vote. Leslie Wallace,
Aye.
Ryan Caholen,
Aye.
Wendy Shuck,
Aye.
And Beth McCarthy, aye. So, good night, everyone. Thank you very much.